Hello viewers, today we're going to perform what is hopefully the final modification of the TPI F-18-TE to correct the speeds. I went around and I got a capacitor. This is an American made capacitor. I like these, you pay for them, but I think they're good capacitors. And this is a 25.5 capacitor. And I went with this one because what I'm thinking is, if 25 will work for low, I'm not sure if it will, but let's say it works, 25 works for low, then I can use the 5 microfarads to replace what's in there as the run cap, and then I only have to use this one capacitor and I can get rid of the one that's in there, because that's a 5 that's in there right now. So let's open this up and see what we can do. So we're going to be working with the red wire here, which is the low speed. So let's get that out of the switch. And just for testing, and because of the size of the capacitor, I'm going to slip this down through the bottom here, and I'm going to put the capacitor on the outside just to test it. Obviously I got to mount it in here eventually. Oh, yikes, that's not going to fit. Ah, jeez, I didn't see that coming. Okay, I don't want to mount it on the outside because this is open terminal, it should be enclosed. Ah, jeez. I really didn't think this was that big. But it definitely is. It goes right up to, I mean, you're talking 1/8 of an inch of clearance there. That ain't gonna work. Okay. Well, not okay at all. Well, that stinks. That really stinks. Well, now I'm wondering if I should just redo it with those other capacitors that I tried it with last time. Because if I'm going to have to put a string of... Okay. Yeah, this isn't going too well here. If I'm going to have to put a string of those capacitors on there, I guess I should just do that then. Geez, that really stinks. I mean, this is not going to go to waste. I use those all the time, but that stinks. I really was hoping that was going to work. Okay, let me get the box of capacitors out and let's see what we can do here. That is so highly disappointing. I thought there was more clearance in this cage, but inherently there is not. Alright, so I think we said last time 10 and 20, and then I think we did 28, because that would give us 28. That's a 2, that's a 4, let's see, there's no way that I could connect that existing one and that wouldn't work. I wonder if I have any more capacitors somewhere else. Jeez. That really stinks. I'm going to check one other location for some more capacitors. Oh, there's something else I needed anyway, so that's good. Found that. Here's some capacitors. Let's see what we have here. These, of course, are 3-wire capacitors. So this is 4, 4.5, and 5. So that's 5, 8, 16, 17, 20. Okay, so that's actually what I could do is I could put all of these together. Is this the same deal? This is a 6, 6, 5. 12, 16, and then 10 would give us 26. And that's only using 2 capacitors, so I could I think, take this, put all this together, and get 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 and a half, and then add 10 to get 26 and a half. Could do that. Or I could add 8. Where's the 8? I could add the 8 and then get 24 and a half. That would give us the lowest option. 24. Let's see if we could do that. Let's try that one. Because otherwise we could do, this is 8, that's like 13 and 10. That would give us 23. Well, instead of guessing, let me get my nice calculator out here. So we could do 4 plus 4.5 plus 5 will give us 13 and a half, plus 10 is 23.5. So let's start with that. Let's start with the 23 and a half and see where that goes. That may or may not be enough, I don't know. So I'll get a piece of wire out here. Use this wire again. So let's try 23 and a half. I can't remember what the highest value we tried last time was. I think the highest value we tried was 20, and I don't think that worked. So let's try the 23. So I'm going to stick this wire into here, and then I can make my capacitor connections outside here just for the purpose of ease. I'll get some new wire nuts. Geez, I'm so disappointed about that too, because I've been waiting for a while for that to come in to do this. I can't even do it. I wasted all that time. Well, I mean, it wasn't wasted. I was doing other things, but jeez, that stinks. Okay, so let's see what we have here. We're gonna we'll take this one, and we'll combine the 3 to get our 13. And then we'll try the 23 and see where that goes. 10. Okay, so this should give us 10 plus 13, 23 and a half. Let's give that a shot. Didn't want to have 3 different capacitors in here, but I don't know how else to get this to work. If my 25.5 isn't going to fit, then there's no other option but to do it this way. I mean, this is okay. It's not terrible, but I just don't really like it. Would have rather used a better quality capacitors too. These are kind of cheap. I mean, they're nice because they're smaller, but they're kind of cheap. Okay, so that should be it. Set it to low. Slip the guard back on, and let's see what transpires. Okay, so it did start up on its own. I think that's a bit too slow. It's not really doing much. So let's go up with the 10. So we'll do 23 and a half. And I think that'll be pretty good. That kind of stinks because that means my 25 would have worked. Let's also get this on the kilowatt meter here and see how much power that was drawing. Make sure it's not out of whack. It is starting up okay. That's at 1.26 amps. An awful lot of power for what it's doing, so we're not going to go with that. Nah, I don't like that. Let's do, let's go up to 10. So we'll do the 13.5 and the 10. Okay, so we're going to detach. Oh, that was the 10. I thought I was doing 8. Okay, so what other options do we have then? So my 25 would not have worked. I guess. So this was, hold on. This was 4 plus 4.5 plus 5 plus 10. That was 23.5. I thought this was an 8. Okay, so then the other option would be, we do this one, which is 6 plus 6 plus 4.5. That's 16 plus 8 would give us 24.5, or plus 10 would give us 26.5. So I guess we'll try this one, and we'll try that with the 8. Let's see where we go with that. So let's start with the 8, and we'll take these and we'll combine this. Jeez, I'm still so disappointed that my 25 isn't going to fit in there. Okay, so this is 12 plus 4.5 plus 8. So this is 24.5. Let's see where this brings us. Wiring is correct. It's 1.33 now. I think we got to go up to the 10. I mean, it's moving air, but it's not. It's like a little bit too slow. Well. Oh, it's not bad. Oh, let's try a little bit faster. Let's try the 10. Okay, so we'll take this 8 out and we'll replace that for a 10. Okay, so that's going to be 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 26 and a half. See what that does. I think that may be it. I think that's good. I think we're going to go with that. That's a pretty moderate speed. It's It's still pretty quiet, but it's moving a good amount of air. Power draw is 1.41. Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's really good. Cool. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go with 26.5. So I'll let this run for a while, make sure nothing's heating up or anything like that. And if it seems to be content running like this, I'll open it up and we'll strap in the capacitors. Should be pretty easy because they're all going to be that same size. Alright, this seems to be good. I've had it going for a while. It doesn't seem to have any issues. Motor's getting hot, but it's not any hotter than it was at the other speeds. So, let's see what we can do about mounting these capacitors. It could be a little bit tricky because there's so many of them. There's going to be 3 in there now, which I didn't want to do, but I don't think we have any other choices. So I'm thinking the best thing to do is going to be to take this off and strap all 3 of them together. Because this way we can reutilize that mount, which, you know, it's debatable how secure that mount really is, but I think that's what we're going to do. If I have a wrench that will take it off. Alright, so I think what we can do, let's remove this from here first. I hope what we can do is just take these capacitors and kind of strap them together like this. Or maybe, I guess the wires coming out the bottom would make more sense. Just make a capacitor bank like near, like this. The other option would be mount them like that, but that's getting closer to the blade, so that's not good. And that keeps them away from the blades the most, but then the wires, I mean, you can strap the wires down, I guess, and hold those in place pretty tight. Yeah, I guess we'll go with them like that. I think that's going to make the most sense. So do it like that. I don't particularly like that, but I don't have a lot of options here. I want to keep it over the control panel so so it's not obvious that they're in there. And you could mount them kind of like this, and you could do 2 there, and then you could do another one here, like that. I don't really feel like doing that though. Well, I could maybe could do that. Not sure what the advantage to doing that is though. Versus just putting it like this. Or was it like this? Yeah, I guess that's the best option. Do it like that. All three be like that. So I had some tie wraps here. There we go. Not sure if this will be long enough. Thinking not. Oh, it's not long enough. Oh, I had two. Here's the other one. Okay, so there's that. I think that's fine. So that will screw on to there, like that. Okay, so now I just have to figure out how to route the wires around there. They have to join up to this wire here. One side has to anyways. Which I guess I could put that on the left, and then I'll have to have the extra wire there to make the joint on the right, I think. Yeah, okay. This is what it'll look like now. It's not bad, it's pretty secure. I took a tie wrap and I connected the end of the capacitors to the loop on the string relief so that I can't lift up. Tied those wires down, and we should be good to go. So I'll get the blade back on and let's see how it works. Okay, let's see what we have here. That's good. That's much better than it was. Now it's a lot more useful. Just for comparative purposes, here's medium. Well, I would say that was definitely a success. I was really hoping this was going to work. We'd be done with this, but I'm not sure it's going to work. The motor's 164 degrees, 170 right on the stator. And the problem is it's only like 60 something degrees in this room. So you put the, you know, in a window on a 90-degree day, we were looking at, you know, 170, 180, 190, 200 degrees. You can't run it like that. So I'm going to have to do some more tests on this. Now I know this one does run hot, I remember that, but I'm going to have to put it on like medium, let's say, and see what this, you know, what the temperature is on medium. If it's that hot on medium, then I guess it's fine, but I can't imagine it's going to run that hot. Well, highly unfortunately, it's going to turn out that this speed adjustment was a total fail, because I just ran it on medium for a little while and it cooled down to 115 degrees from 160 something, almost 170. So this particular motor does not like running at the slowest speed. We kind of lucked out with the 12-inch one because it worked. It didn't work on this one. So that's really too bad. I was kind of excited that we were going to be able to use this more, but not so. Fortunately, everything that I did is completely reversible. So I'm just going to cut everything out here. Wasted a couple tie wraps, which I'm not happy about, but that's the worst that happened. That is what it is. I'll use the capacitors for other things. The 10s, I've got two 10s. Those are good for the Casablanca fans, converting those from the dumb touch to a regular control, and I have one that I want to do that on, so I'll use one for that. And this one's kind of short, but I can still use this one. Again, so only wasted 3 tie wraps. I guess I should have tested it long term. I'm surprised by this outcome. I was not expecting that. But sometimes things happen that are unexpected. So all we have to do is just pull this wire out of there. And put this wire back in. But nothing you can do about it. I guess the 12-inch one is the only one you can mess with. The 24 didn't like any of the modifications I did to it. And this one's not liking the modifications either. Jeez, that's such a stinking shame. I really thought this was going to be a good answer. Oh well. Okay, that's reconnected. That's that. Let's tighten it up a little bit more. Okay, everything's back to original, and that's where it's going to have to stay, because the motor was not happy running with those additional capacitors in here. So that's too bad. It's really too bad. I was going to get a lot of use out of this if it was a little bit slower, but oh well. So I'll power it on just to make sure it still works. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. And then we'll wrap up this video with a rather sad ending. There's the low, medium, which sounds like high, and the high. So that's it. Unfortunately, you can't fix that. It is whatever it is. Still an awesome fan. It's just you need a big area for it where noise doesn't matter.